Shalom, shalom, shalom. What's going on, everybody? So, topic today is Supacolor. I had somebody ask me, what is the best um, image dimension to use when using the services of Supacolor, and I'm going to attempt to explain that in this video. Hopefully, it'll be short but sweet. So, one of the things that I was concerned about as well when I first started printing was I wanted to get a very full size print. I once thought that 12 by 12 was truly the standard. I'm not really sure if that is the best standard. It is a common one by doing if you're doing a chest centerpiece or a back piece. Most people say it's a 12 by 12, but what I've found through research and some trial and error, the actual real footprint of a chest of a full chest image or full back image is actually 12 by 16. So let's look at that real quick. I use Printful a lot for like one-time jobs that I want to see a physical copy if I can't make it on my own. So, for example, with if you use like Supacolor, you have to be prepared to spend the money to get that 20-piece quantity for your order. So the first thing I usually do when I have a design that I want to do full print 12 by 16, I usually come here to Printful and I will create a shirt that I want with DTG. So that gives you a better accurate representation of what your shirts will look like. And it's at a fraction of the cost before you spend, $100+ on a 20-piece order with Supacolor. You can kind of get an idea of what your shirt is supposed to look like using their services. So you want to know how you get that design. How do I come up with that design? It's pretty easy, pretty simple. Let's go with mine. As you see the box right here, right? This box is a direct representation of a 12 by 16 footprint. And that's what Printful uses to do their shirts. So how do you actually make your designs that large, right? I'll also have the links to download the guides for various sizings when you're of a shirt dimension. So if you want to do inside neck labels, if you want to do sleeves, front print, chest print, so on and so forth, I'll have links so you can download those zip files to actually look at it yourself with a diagram, and it shows you in depth why and the breakdowns on that. So don't just take my word for it. You read it for yourself and do it. So usually what I do when I come over to Photoshop, I do a lot of my artwork in Photoshop. I do have Illustrator as well, Adobe Illustrator, but I don't use it as much. But usually when I'm here in Photoshop, I will go to Create New. You can see I've created like several well, I guess you can't see that. Let me move it over here. So I've created like several templates, and as you can see, I did a lot of templates 12 by 12 because I thought that was the real standard. But as I did more and more research, I started doing 12 by 16, right? So one thing that you need to pay attention to is when you're creating a 12 by 16 image, you also want to make sure your image is above, ideally, the minimum is above 150 DPI. Personally, I would not create an image less than 300 DPI. The higher your DPI, the more detail your image is going to be. It also means bigger files, so you have to be careful with that. But you want your images to be very vibrant, very big, colorful, whatever you're doing. You want them to be good quality because The DPI relates directly to how large an image can be without getting pixelated. So when you're creating an image, think about your resolution. You want a big image with a very crispy, nice looking image. You don't want, you take a picture that's supposed to be like, for example, a 6x6, you put it on a 6x6 canvas, and say it's at 100 DPI. When you blow that thing up to a 12x16 or 12x12, it might start looking pixelated, right? So you can't use it. So unless you want to make an image look like Minecraft or something. So always be mindful of your DPI. So like this setting right here, I did a 12x16 with the 600 DPI. That's a little overkill, but I like to create my templates pretty large. So here it is what you'll look at right here. That's what you'll look at, and pretty easy, pretty simple. But this is what you would be working with, right? Usually what I do right here is I'll select the magic wand, select the template. If you want a clear background template, all you have to do now is you have to unlock the layer, get your wand, and delete it. So now any image you put on here, you can make it, you make the background transparent. Background is already transparent for you. And that's a little bit how you can see how I did this image right over here on the side. I created this same image right over here, and put, I actually added, this was actually two separate images. It was the skeleton and the head, and then the rest in peace headstone in the back. I actually placed that behind the image, and everything else was created on this template here. So that's how I start. That's what I do. Once I get my image down, I save it. I bring it over here to Printful. I basically do a mock-up. They also have a Mockup Generator, which is pretty dope. But usually here, I'll look at it here, turn the grid off so you can kind of see it. Looks pretty dope, right? And then you can go back, change the color, take a look at it. If you want more detailed pictures, you can also go to their Mockup Generator, which they give you a little bit more options for how it's supposed to look, how would it look on a person. Personally, the best option that I like to use, let's see. The best option that I like to use is I'm going to show you here if I can actually find it. I think it is called, I'll put it up on the screen here, Placeit. Now this is a very, very good site. It has way more options, so you can actually see how your designs would look. I like that about this site. So for example, let's go to I have it on hats. Let's go to t-shirts. Right. Go to t-shirts. Let's go with this guy here, for example. So once you get your 12x9, you have to be careful because, like I said, using Placeit, you have to be careful because your image size may be too large. So if it's too large, you're going to run into a problem. So let's just throw one of these bad boys on. Let's throw that one on. See what it's looking like, if I can use it. So there's a 12x16. Well, it's not really a 12x16. The box is here. Remember, you're just using Placeit to see what your image is going to look like, blown up to scale. So let's do that. See what it looks like. So that's still a little big. All right, so that's more a believable 12 by 16 type image. And you can also go over here, play around with the colors, throw it in gray, whatever colors you want, and kind of get a better representation of what your stuff is going to look like once printed on a shirt. But that's pretty much it, guys. Once you go over here to Supacolor, you're going to go into your back office here. Let's say you're going to do a shirt, so you're going to do your wearables. What I do is you're going to choose this first option here, the wearable WEA3_A3, and the biggest size they offer is 11.7 by 16.5. So usually with my my designs, that's exactly the dimensions I would use, because they don't have a full 12 by 16 ratio. So you have to use the, you can still make a 12 by 16 template, your image. It works just as fine. But when you're in Supacolor, when you go to enter your dimensions for your order, you want to just use the full max out one that they give you, 11.7 by 16.5, and it works and turns out just fine. And that's really all you need to do. The most important thing, like I said, is design your images using this template. And it doesn't really matter if your image is very small. Once you pull it into this template, all you have to do is drag and drop, expand it, make it bigger, make it larger, and it will be what it is. It'll come out at a higher resolution. It scales it pretty nicely, in my opinion. And like I said, these are using Printful and using Placeit gives you a better idea of what your image is going to look like before you actually have it in hand. And just remember what I said about Printful. You can always spend $8, right, on a basic shirt using DTG to see how your order would actually look in person. I always do this. Before I use Supacolor, I always use this service. And even now with Supacolor, I use this service simply to know what my stuff is going to look like before spending the extra money to getting a whole bunch of transfers that you spend over $100-something for. So again, it's really simple. Hopefully it's easy for you to do. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. Also check out the links that I will have in this video in the description area, basically letting you download those templates and zip files, so you'll know exactly what dimensions you need for different placements or different areas on the shirt, neck labels, sleeves, back, chest, etc. So yeah, don't forget to check that out. I appreciate you guys liking, disliking, subscribing to the channel, and just giving your input, because that's really what it's all about. It's like, it's talking about things that we are passionate about and giving direction. I don't know everything. You don't know everything, but there may be things that I don't know that you can teach me, and vice versa. So let's keep the discussions up. And remember, we're all trying to help each other. We're all trying to get better and understand this industry and how it works. So hopefully it was helpful. If it was, make sure you like this video and subscribe for more content. All right. Peace. Peace, peace, peace.